Alright, there we go. I've now made it to Muiderslot, about a 1 hour journey with public transport from Amsterdam. It looks amazing, so cool to be here. I was here about a year ago, but it was closed due to COVID, so I could only see it from the outside. Now I'm gonna be able to head inside, show you around, and I'm so excited. So before I'm heading inside the castle, I'm in the castle's garden. Not that big actually, but still nice to look around. As far as I know, the castle was built for trade reasons, to check tolls. There was lots of trade going on at the time it was built, around the 14th century. Later on it was then used as a prison, but I'm sure we're gonna find out more of that inside. They've also got a free audio tour. Isn't it so cool when you have a museum almost to yourself? There's nobody else here and I have this audio tour with me. Learn loads about the castle, just found out that it was at one point completely destroyed and then 100 years later it was rebuilt. So much history and really a cool place to see. So there we go, I just had a great visit to Muiderslot. It's about 16 euros to enter, you get the free audio tour, you learn a lot, it's lots of fun and it's totally worth a visit if you are in Amsterdam. As I said, about an hour to get here with public transport. I had such a good time this afternoon, just the first of many adventures here in the Netherlands. So happy to be back in Amsterdam and in the country overall. Hello and welcome back to this channel. I'm back in the Netherlands, currently in Gouda. I came here from Amsterdam, where I'm staying at the moment. Gouda is a perfect day trip from Amsterdam, but also from Utrecht, Rotterdam or The Hague. The city is conveniently located in the center of the country. Today the clouds are out, so it's not the very best weather, but I'll tell you it's a lot better than the weather we had the past few days. I'm starting my visit off in IJsseldoorn Park, a nice park a bit outside of the city center to relax and go for a walk, and then I'll head to the city center where I'll explore all that Gouda has to offer, and of course I'll take you along.
Girl, I'll give you my life, you know I could not lie. God gave me a wife and a daughter that's mine. Blessed I am, you know that's right. Here's I am.
I'm now in the very center of Gouda at Market Square, where every Thursday from 10:30 until 12:30 in the morning during spring, so between April and until September, they have the cheese market. At the time of recording it's February, so the cheese market with the traditional weighings of the cheese is not taking place, unfortunately, but there's a normal market to enjoy and they still sell lots of cheese. So very cool place to come to and start your day in Gouda. The focal point of the market square beside the market in Gouda is its city hall. It's built in the Gothic style and it's actually one of the oldest city halls in the country. It was built in 1424. It looks really cool and there are also bells in front of the building that ring every hour. Now having a look around the St. Jan Church, in English you would say St. John's Church, and also the monastery of Gouda. The St. John's Church is mainly famous for its painted glass windows, and they look absolutely beautiful from pictures. So I was actually planning to head inside and check them out. You can't really see them from the outside, but the entry is about 10 euros, which I find is a bit much to enter a church. Maybe it's worth it for you. Consider it for yourself. They look beautiful from pictures. So when visiting a city for the first time, I like to see the monuments, but my favorite thing to do is just to have a walk around and see some of the lesser known spots in the city. I've just come across this tiny street and I saw a sign that told me about the history of this place. In the 18th century, this whole street was famous for the production of cloth, and it seems like they are really proud of that history here. There are pictures around of the families that were involved in that business, and I love to hear about these random facts and learn more about a place. We're also really close to one of the city's windmills, and it's still in operation. I'm now standing next to the canals in Gouda. Trade is still a big thing via water in the Netherlands, but in the past it used to be even more important, of course. I'm also standing in front of the Red Lion windmill, which is a great example of a still working windmill. It's not producing grain anymore, but it's on display for everybody to see, and I think on a nicer day the wheels are even turning around. It has now started to rain hard, so I'm trying to head inside and check out one of the museums they have in Gouda. There are several museums you can visit in Gouda. There's the Museum of Gouda, which mainly displays pottery that has been crafted in Gouda. Gouda is famous for pottery, but also for production of candles and clay pipes. Most importantly though, something I haven't stressed enough yet, it's famous for the Gouda cheese. Gouda cheese is known worldwide, but only Gouda Holland is Gouda cheese actually produced in this region here. It has become so famous because the grass conditions around this area is perfect for cows, and it just gives the nice taste to the cheese Gouda. Right next to the market square there is a museum called the Weighing Museum, where they have many information about how they weighed the cheese, but also about pottery and about cheese in general. You can book a tour here. It's about €6.50, so fairly cheap, and they will show you around the museum, and you can also have a look around yourself.
This road is so tough, place my feet in the sand, I'll carry you up, blessed I am.
Alright, that's it from the self-proclaimed cheese capital of the world. I had a great day in Gouda. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't the best, but I spent a good hour in the cheese museum there next to the market square. Definitely recommend a visit. It's in a great location, easy to reach from everywhere in the center of the country. It might even be a good place to stay at for a week if you're looking to explore the Netherlands. As I said, you can reach Amsterdam, The Hague, Rotterdam, Delft, many places very easily from Gouda, and I guess it would also be a bit cheaper to stay here than in Amsterdam. Hello and welcome back to this channel. We are still in the Netherlands. Today we're doing a day trip from Amsterdam. We're heading to Texel, which is one of 5 islands they've got in the Netherlands. First one is Texel, then there's Vlieland, Ameland, Terschelling, Schiermonnikoff, so I hope I mentioned all of them. We're right now in Den Helder. We took the train this morning from Amsterdam. It took about 1 hour 45 minutes, and this is where you'll get the ferry over to the island Texel. Now we've just had a walk around Den Helder. Unfortunately we missed the ferry that went to the island right now, but that just means we'll have a bit more time to see the area around here. They've got a very cool ship museum, it seems like, here in the harbor, and we're also gonna have lunch by the sea. So very excited for the day. Let's get it started. Super cool. We just got on the ferry. Shouldn't take more than half an hour, and it only costs €2.50 for both ways, so super cheap and just such a cool trip. We're about to head out, so I'll make sure to capture the journey for you. As soon as you get off the boat, you'll see the dunes and you can start exploring right away. Don't have to go for any other checkpoint, just get off the boat and you're out in nature. We're now gonna head up these dunes and explore the beach. Looks beautiful already. So welcome officially to Texel. We've made it up the first dune. The whole island covers around 460 square kilometers, so it's quite big to walk around actually. And the first dune you'll see when you get off the ship are nice, but there's also the national park. So that's where we're gonna head now. We're gonna take the bus to get there. It takes about 12 more minutes, I think, and that should be then the most beautiful part of Texel. Overall, I love how it looks here. The whole atmosphere is super nice, and we seem to be the only tourists on the island at the moment still. It's quite early in the year still. Off the bus, got some supplies here. We're now in the middle of the island and we're now gonna head over to the protected area, the forest and the beach. This is a national park, but you don't have to pay an entrance fee. The afternoon is coming to an end and we've made it to this gorgeous beach on Texel Island. I really recommend the visit. The whole natural area around the beach is just beautiful. As always in the Netherlands, I love the dunes they have here. We're just gonna have a stroll along the beach and then slowly gonna head back because we have to get the bus to go to the ferry, and then from there with the ferry to Den Helder and back to Amsterdam. So it's quite the journey. I just also want to mention, besides the national park, you can go and check out the lighthouse they have the north side of the island, and there's also kind of a wildlife exhibit museum where they talk about the conservation work they do on this island. Sometimes you might even be lucky enough to spot some seals, because there is quite a big population here around the island of Texel. But we had an amazing visit, so glad we came, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome back to this channel. Today we are in Zaandam in the Netherlands. This is only 15 minutes away from Amsterdam, so probably the easiest day trip you can do in the Netherlands if you're staying in Amsterdam. It's actually that close that people sometimes even stay here in Zaandam because it's a bit cheaper to stay here, and they still visit Amsterdam from here. Zaandam is the biggest city of the municipality of Zaanstad, so we're gonna be having a look around the whole municipality this afternoon. There are some beautiful windmills to explore, and this whole region was very important for the history of the Netherlands, because during the Dutch Golden Age in the 17th century, this was the region where most of the boats were built that became then so important for trade with other colonies. So let's get it started and let's have a look around Zaandam. The main attraction of Zaandam itself is right next to the central station of Zaandam, and it's the Intel Hotel. You heard it right, this is a hotel, so all the houses around here aren't authentic Dutch houses, but they do look like it and they look very nice. It just feels a bit like an amusement park around this area overall. But a nice first stop if you arrive in Zaandam. We're gonna now head down to the ZAANSE river, which was so important for trade in the Dutch Golden Age I was mentioning before. So we're gonna follow that river up north until we get to SCHANS, which is where all the windmills are. Just had a walk through the small village of SCHANS. Very cute town to walk around, but we've now come to the main attraction, the windmills. They are part of an outdoor museum, and all 5 of them are visible from the bridge we are on currently. We're now gonna head over to the outdoor museum. It's about 15 euros to get in. So let's check it out. There's also a super nice chocolate smell in the air. It smells like chocolate cake, and we think it's from a cookie factory that is very close. The windmill right next to it. Never been on one. This is the last real working windmill left in the world. It's still producing things, and only 5 euros to get in. So cool, and you also get a great view of all the other windmills from up here. windmills in the Netherlands were used for various different purposes, and that can also be seen here in ZAANSE SCHANS. The one we just visited probably was a oil producing windmill, so they were grinding flours and spices to create oils. But over there we've got a windmill that used to saw wood. This was mainly used for the ship industry, and as I said before, became very important for trading in the Netherlands. So you see, all these windmills have different purposes and they were used for everything. They were the main motor behind the economical growth of Amsterdam in the 17th century. Okay, so we just visited the Cheese Experience Museum and also the Wooden Shoe Experience Museum. It was really cool. In the cheese museum you can try plenty of different cheeses. I also bought one, a sheep cheese. They're all delicious in there. And then the wooden shoes, I really don't understand why people like them, but you can buy them in all colors and they're fun. Overall, this is a very fun place to come to. It's a bit touristy, but very close to Amsterdam. We had a great time and it was free to enter. We only paid €5 for the windmill, so very cheap. Okay, we're now heading back to Amsterdam. Thank you very much for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.